Good morning, my G-Body Nation. So this is a small video, a short video on my 87 Grand Prix LE and a couple of modifications that I made to the car. I'm gonna try to do everything in one shot, so don't judge me. Anyway, so we're gonna start for I think step by step what I did so far. Right, the first thing I did, I think, was to do some pinstriping on the red just to break the chrome of the car, just to separate it a little bit. So I see how the 442 and the Monte Carlo Super Sport had that little pinstripe. I didn't want to go something that it was so thick, so that's the first thing I did. I did the pinstriping first, and that was not hard. It was actually easy. Just follow the contours of the of the flares at the bottom and the of the car, as you can see. Just a little stuff to make in mind, so it wouldn't be like just any other G-Body or Grand Prix that is out there. The second thing I did, I think, was to put this Transcend wing from 82, 84, actually 82 to 86 Transcend came with this type of wings, because in 87 they came out with the well wing, I think it was. That's what they call it. So it was a white one that I got from a junkyard, and I actually painted it satin black, which when I refresh the paint on the car is going to be painted the same color of the car. Right now it's all right, you know, it will do for what I needed to do, and I like that. That was the first thing I did to my last Grand Prix that I had back in 2003, 2004, when I had my first night rider car, when I was trying to make one. And I ordered this from eBay, these little things. This is the next thing I did, to get a 350 little emblem, red, kind of goes with that. I wish I would have got it. Actually, I ordered ones that are black and red instead of chrome and red. I can always just peel those off and put the other ones on. And I did that inside the car as well. So there you go. And I tried to put my Transcend radio, but I think that's when all the stuff was happening with the car that wouldn't start and all that, and somehow it kind of burned it. So it is what it is. So I have that little cheap Pioneer. All I need is Bluetooth, and that actually works for what I needed to do. All right, so I think the next thing I did was getting these reproduction wheels from Jags, right? So I think I paid like $850, I think it was, but I had a coupon for $50. So I love these wheels from Jags. These are from the ones that you can put on cars, on G-Bodies from I want to say 78 to 87. So but because I put big wheels in it, it actually, I had to use a little bit of spacers, not big wheels, big tires in it. So they're 17 by 8 and 16 by 8. These are the ones that go in the GTA Transam. I think they also put them on the GNX in 87. And on the rear I got 255s. What are these? These are, where they are, 255 50 16s, BF Goodrich G4 Sport, and on the front 225. Let me see, these ones are 225 55 16s, so they're both 16s, 255s in the rear, which I love. And the car actually can put all the power to the pavement, and it handles really well. The owner before me did the suspension and the exhaust and everything, so the car is really good. Let me see, I don't remember what I did inside the car. So we are going to open the hood. Okay. Oh, also these are one of the first things I did is to replace that filter, because the last filter was really in bad shape. You can actually see through the gauze thing that was for the K&N filter, so I replaced it with another one, and I have a K&N lid as well. So I like how he has how when they put the engine in and they put the cables in, they all do it behind underneath the exhaust. That was great. Came with a hollow pump. The air conditioning works, everything works. Other than that, I also got a new battery, although my battery here does work. I thought at the beginning when I had the issue, like I told you last time, when the car wouldn't crank and wouldn't start, and I was testing the battery and it was giving me barely 12.5 volts. So it's been charging. I mean, it's still good, but they're only good for 3 years. So I don't know how long that battery has been there. It doesn't look very old, but you can tell. This is what was wrong with the car last time. They wouldn't come, so it wouldn't turn on. So this is by the steering column, as you can tell, and this is why the car wouldn't start before. So I drove the Trans Am this morning as well. Anyway, so that's what we did here. I also put a breather instead of the big thing. I also connected back the purge canister from the gas tank. It was plugged in, and it was plugged in on the carburetor. I understand why. You know, you have all these hoses going and rolling, might as well. It's not running any power from the carburetor, right? And I guess it keeps your gas tank from a positive pressure all times. You know what I mean? Because it actually is supposed to clear in not the exhaust, but the fumes from your gas tank. I don't know. I don't do emissions, so, but it still has somewhat of emissions in here. So the part that I bought in the last video, I told you I bought that part, and it wouldn't fit here because this fan is too tall, right? This fan shroud is a little tall, and this is from the electric fans. Even though that part is for electric fans with the radiator, but these fans, for some reason, they're way too tall. I couldn't put it down. So what I did is I have these guards from, because I didn't like how it looked kind of, you know, naked in there, and things can fall into the radiator fins. This way the entire cold air comes through here underneath from the grill all the way to the radiator and on. So that's a great thing. Actually, this car has 3 fans that I didn't know until I actually was checking underneath the car, which I don't know if you can see it right there, but there is a fan, an electric fan, and that is either for the transmission cooler that is right in there, or the condenser. I couldn't tell you what the fan is, but I have 2 pulling and 1 pushing, so, or vice versa. And what else did we do? We changed the oil, obviously, as soon as I got it. This is from one of the stickers I had left from my one and only aircraft carrier that I ever surfed on, the Harry S. Truman. I also put a nice little small banner Pontiac, because it's a Pontiac car. I also got this from eBay. I love this Pontiac. I don't remember if it was eBay or Amazon, but I'm pretty sure I got it from eBay. This Pontiac shoulder boards, because, you know, these cars, this thing actually bothers my neck. They're the same ones that I got from the Trans Am, but the Trans Am started to discolor a little bit because I always drive it with the T-tops off every chance I get. And but those are over a year old, so that's why. What else did we do inside the car? All right, so I put these the steering wheel, like I told you before. I had a Trans Am steering wheel, right? And it had the bird in here, and actually I ordered one of those big dome Pontiac plastics that they stick on just to cover the bird, so it wouldn't look so out of place. Actually, I was able to find this. This is from another car. It wasn't from another Grand Prix, but I love how it just says Pontiac. I was able to paint the letters a little bit with red and with a toothpick because they're so small, and it goes well with the steering wheel. I was trying to find this little piece, which is the cover that is right there, but I couldn't find any, so I have to make my own out of what you call that construction rubber paper that you can get at Walmart. So I ended up doing that just for right now until I can find one. And I will say that's pretty much it that I've done so far on the car. I wish I can, I don't know, to turn this dash in black. I'm not too big on the wood grain look. That's how the car came in, but I think to modernize it a little bit, we can either wrap it or cover it. Try to take this off. The only problem is that all these gauges are aftermarket, so they're attached, especially this one. It's attached to the actual faceplate, so the actual cluster. So I can't. I haven't figured out. I don't want to mess with it. It's not a big deal. I can figure out how I can probably darken the wood a little bit to make it a little bit darker and not so obvious. But so far the interior is excellent, as you can tell. Oh, I also put LEDs inside, red. Let me show you the red right there on the ceiling. I know it shows white, but that's because it's so bright red. There is another red light down there, and underneath thing red. So at night it looks pretty good. If I turn it on, it doesn't bother me, and I can still read. Even in case I need to look at something while I'm driving, so which I don't do. I don't drive this car at night anyways. But so far, I love the way these Grand Prix turn out. So, like I said in the last video, I am going to detail it, see if I can buff out that paint over there on the front fenders. And there's one area that is not painted. I guess the guy replaced this part, and it's flat black, still with primer, so he hasn't painted. And I'm gonna paint that one when I get the entire car done. I'm debating about the chrome. I'm not big time on the chrome, and I don't know if because I have my last Grand Prix I did the same thing. I blacked out all the chrome, and that was a terrible job. And I was very young back then, and I don't know. A lot of people told me to keep it this way because it makes it what it is, Grand Prix, but I seen them all blacked out and they look really nice. And you can never confuse Grand Prix with a Grand National, because the Grand National was nice, square, boxy, and it has fender flares, and you know what I mean. It wasn't as curvy. These things has lines, and actually it has a shoulder, like hips kind of on the side, while the Grand Prix was just straight with flares on the wheels, wheel wells all around. So this one seems like it's a little bit wider. So I also my window was cutting up here on this new window gasket, and I noticed that the gaps at the bottom of the wheel were not fitting well. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to adjust the doors, and actually that came out really good. There is less wind and noise. And also I fixed my fenders, because the fenders, if you look at the other videos, you can tell that this will not match at all. I have to lower down, and there's still a little bit of bigger gap on the top of the fender than there is at the bottom, but it's barely noticeable when you look at the car. Let me see. So far so good. I mean, this car sounds good. It is pretty fast to have that the 350 in there with 355 horsepower, and this car is not, it wasn't light, but it's not as heavy as the new cars like they are now. So this thing will haul ass, and it handles pretty well. I mean, the wheels along with the suspension, it was awesome. The only thing I didn't like is that everybody was telling me in the G forums that you order the same front wheels for all around the car, which this is what it's supposed to be, this same front wheels all around, and with zero back space. But the inside of one of my wheels and the other side was rubbing with the I want to say a ball joint with the steering rod or something, and I had to also put tiny spacers just so I can bring it out enough when I turn it that it won't hit that thing. So far so good. Again, the car is immaculate. I love it. It's and it turns really good. It turns on immediately. I love it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about getting rid of that, just the chrome, not the ones on the wheel, but all at the bottom, on the fenders, on the windshield, all that window trim. One of my friends at the paint shop, he told me to instead of get all that chrome and getting the whole car repainted, because then I'll be kind of, every time you get a brand new car or a car repainted, you're very critical about where you park it, and you're worrying about somebody hitting it. Right now the paint looks good, and I don't have to worry about chipping or anything, because I'm thinking, oh, I'll just retouch it and paint it. So he recommended, instead of painting it, to have the chrome wrapped. That way it's reversible, and I can still have my blacked out car, and the chrome will, and the wrap will last, like, I think 3 to 5 years, and see how I like it. Well, we'll see. Let me know what you think. If any suggestions what else we can do with this Grand Prix. Again, kid's still not here. I went to the paint shop and said, hey, where's my damn car? And they still haven't tackled it. They say it's gonna take a little bit, so can't rush them sometimes. All right, guys, hopefully you like this short video. I think I ranted enough. See you next time.